Hello, hello, my friends. AmyR here with Prairie Paper and Ink. Welcome back to my face, my card making space. Another video with a card using some of the newest Waffle Flower January 2026 release. It's another good one. What can I say? I'll have a link to the release in the description box below the video. Definitely worth checking out. I'm only using a couple things from the release so far. I'll have more content later on using other items I had a hard time choosing, but I'll link to everything I used in the description box below the video. My links are affiliate links. That just means that if you click on one of my links and end up placing an order, I do get a little kickback from that at no extra cost to you. It's what helps keep the lights on, pays the bills, enables me to keep bringing out content. I also have a giveaway attached to this card on my Instagram. I always have a link to my social medias in the description box below, and I'll pop a link to my Instagram higher up. It's worth hopping over and checking it out there. Follow me on Instagram if you don't already. And yeah, that's enough chatter for me. Let's get into making the card. So I am using the Simple Joy bundle for the bulk of this card, and it's a stamp set. There's a coordinating die set, and there's a coordinating stencil set, which is awesome for those that either don't like to color, aren't comfortable with coloring, or if you're someone like me, it's just fun. Because I do like to color. I like to watercolor and color and all the things, and I would, pull out my markers, would love it. But there's something about stenciling that I love it so much. I love it so much, that smooth look you can get. It scratches an itch, I guess. And man, I wish we had these kind of layering stencils way back in the day, because seriously, but we have them now, so yay. Anyway, I took a bunch of the images from the stamp set, and I am stamping them onto just some Neenah Classic Crest Solar White cardstock with Obsidian ink. And I use my stamp positioner to do this. Got a perfect stamp, right out the gate, which I never expect, especially when it's a brand new stamp set. Sometimes, you've got to stamp it a couple times, get those stamps conditioned, yada yada. But again, it's one of those satisfying things when you lift the lid and it's just good. It's like, oh, it's going to be a good crafting session. Anyway, so the layering stencil set, incredibly easy. I can't even really come up with enough words other than it is incredibly easy. Some of the layering stencil sets we like to use take a bit. I talk about that. I'll be always do a first go sort of practice to get your brain wrapped around it, because some of the elements are all those sorts of things. This layering stencil set is easy. It just, because it's a person image and then the little critters, yeah. Don't need a guide, I wasn't looking really at anything. I was like, oh, well, this is obviously the blanket, her hair, etc. And for all my blending, I'm using Concord and Ninth inks, and then a variety of Waffle Flowers blending brushes. I used one of the OG ones for the blanket section because it was so large, and I used Tidepool for that. And then when you get into the little, there's all these little, cat and dog images in this set, and they're so cute. It's another one of those things where it's every time you lift the stencil, it's oh my, stop it. It's so cute. So I used cobblestone first on the little cat that's sitting on her lap. And then for her hair, I used spice cider. And I've switched to the 1+ shader brushes from Waffle Flower that I love them. And then lift that stencil and it's just that, So then there's a little detail section for this little kitty cat, which obviously you can choose whether or not you want to use all the parts of the stencil, what have you. I did because it gives them those little stripies, so I used mushroom ink for that. And then for her face and hands, I started with Nectar. So I got that lined up. And this especially for coloring in skin tones and just being able to have a stencil to do that, you know, 'cause it's intimidating for a lot of people. So again, there's a stencil set for this. Or you could skip it and just get the stamp and color or watercolor or whatever floats your boat. I love it. So I started with Nectar, and then I pulled in Ballet Slipper and a the Waffle Flower 0+ brush. These are just tiny in here. They're perfect for things like this, or to get into like just smaller areas, what have you. So I used the Ballet Slipper to add just a very light sort of blush to her cheeks. It ends up being very, very subtle when it dries back. If I was to redo this, I would actually probably maybe mix the Ballet Slipper with a slightly darker pink and just be very light-handed. Because what you can see right now on camera, that ends up like just, they kind of blend together because they're such light shades. So yeah, looking at the finished card that's been sitting now for a while and the ink is fully dry, it's not as noticeable. So I would just go back in with just a little bit darker and we'd be good to go. So then for her sweater, I used Stardust. And yeah, as I'm like doing this voiceover, I'm just looking, I was like, oh, this set, oh, her sweater and that blanket, etc. would be so fun to paper piece with some pattern papers. Like give her like a little floral quilt. Y'all, I need more hours in the day. Seriously, I need to clone myself. There's so many things. It's like I start getting more ideas like when I'm editing, when I'm doing voiceovers, etc. It's kind of ridiculous. Anywho, I started like kind of jumping around. I would look at the stencil and I was like, oh, that goes with this, that goes with this. So I start getting a little all over the place, but I was having fun. So I used Pebble for the book pages, and I think I also used it for this cat. I started with Pebble, and then there's the you can add little spots to make a little calico kitty. So that's where I pulled in more of those tiny little 0+ brushes. And I was going in with like mushroom, spice cider. I brought in a bit of nutmeg, kind of giving that hint to like a little tortoiseshell kitty cat, So this was just fun. Yeah, and it always looks like a hot mess on the stencil, and then you pull off the stencil and you've got this fully colored in image. And I love it. I love it. So we've got the little elements for this little stack of books here. So back to Ballet Slipper on that one. And I just used the little tiny brush because I had already been using it. And then I also brought in avocado for my green. So adding a bit of that. And then I'm going to jump over to, I'm not sure even at the moment, what did I jump back over? Oh, her little coffee cup. So Ballet Slipper on that one, which the brush, I used a larger brush this time and it ended up being more of a peachy color. So there was obviously other color on the brush. It's fine. And then nutmeg to fill it in, so she's obviously got, a hot cup of coffee wrapped in her blanket. I think that's why I had to use this set for this video. Like this was the first thing I pulled out of the release and I was like, I want this to be me. Curled up with a blankie and maybe a couple critters and a good book and a cup of coffee. Oh, heaven. Anyway, this little image with the cat in the book. Love it. Absolutely love it. So just using the same colors. I used some Pebble, some avocado, and then for this little kitty cat, I went in with, Dove. And I love this stencil because it leaves the paws. So he's got little white paws. Stop it. It's just ridiculously cute. And then give him his little stripies with the mushroom ink. And then for the dog, it threw me for a second. And then I realized you flip the stencil over because there's 2 dogs in this set. And they're basically little corgis. And they're mirror images of each other. So all you have to do is flip the stencil over. Brilliant. So I just cut the image out because I was too lazy to clean the stencil and I didn't want to get ink on the rest of everything I'd finished. So then I just cut that part out, flipped over the stencil, stenciled on. I mixed Stardust and spice cider. And then I used Ballet Slipper for his little tongue and ears. He's so cute. I can't. Look at him. Look how adorable he is. So once I was done stenciling, I used coordinating wafer dyes and die cut them all. And then I pulled up my white gel pen and I was just adding a bunch of little random highlights. And I was having a heck of a time with my gel pen. even though I knew why it was doing this, it was like kind of being really skippy and not going down smooth. And this is my Jelly Roll 10 Jelly Roll 10 gel pen that I have been using for years. Like my absolute favorite white gel pen. And I kind of knew in the back of my, and I ended up realizing it right about this point that it's empty. Like I have used up this entire thing. The thing to remember with gel pens specifically, you need to use them somewhat consistently. It doesn't have to be every single day, but you need to use them consistently because they'll dry out in the tip. Not necessarily, like the pen itself isn't dried out, but they'll dry out in the little ball point, and it takes a bit to get them going again, and it can get really annoying. You can warm it up. The biggest way to get them going in is to warm them up in your hand. Like I will literally scribble it on the palm of my hand on some scrap paper if mine has been sitting for, a couple weeks, whatever. But I generally use mine consistently enough that I don't have an issue. But yeah, I'd use it right up. So then I got a fresh Jelly Roll 10 pen because of course I keep a little bit of a backup. Like I keep a couple extra in my stash. And that was also extremely satisfying because it just, it would just glide. And I was like, yes, we're having a good time. So added all my little gel pen highlights. There's a little floral image and I stamped that onto the one book just to give it a little bit of pattern. And then I took a couple little Copic markers and just quickly dabbed them on that little floral on that book with the cat, just to give it some color. And then for my background, I took Tidepool cardstock and I used the Happy Leaves texture die. I've talked about these before. I love wafer dies that do stuff like this, that just pierce a pattern. Like they're not doing any die cutting whatsoever. They just pierce patterns and I love it. I love that texture. So I had done that. And then for this frame, I have a link to it. It might not be available at any of the sources. I was told that this was discontinued. I wanted to use it. It's the inside outside scalloped elongated oval die. This thing's old and it's from Waffle Flower. And I used the interior die cut just to give myself a visual to trace, as you saw there, so I could trim off the background so that'll fit inside my frame. So any oval, rectangle, whatever, just kind of a large frame-ish image would work. Or you could just skip it and I could have just trimmed down the background a little bit. That would have looked fine too. There are also other dies in this set that create kind of a scene. Like you could add a lamp and a floor and things like that that will work perfectly with this set. But yeah, I was like fixated on this frame and I wanted to use it. So the frame I die cut from Stardust cardstock and I layered 2 layers together, create a bit of dimension. This Miss You wafer die and outline is from a previous release. It came out a couple months ago. I forget what release, but it was not too long ago, but it was a little while ago. So it's not like new. And some of you might already have this because I think it was also a freebie at one point. Anyway, I die cut it from white cardstock multiple times. I glued 2 layers together and then glued that to my outline that I die cut from vellum. The third cardstock layer, I am adhering to the back underneath the vellum. I've shown this in a bunch of videos. I didn't think of this. I picked it up from someone else's video and I do not remember whose it was. This was years ago. It was brilliant because this way it pops the vellum up a little bit, gives it that extra little bit of lift, but it also makes it easier to adhere this because the glue shows through vellum. And having that cardstock there, I can put glue on the cardstock and I'm not touching the vellum at all and it's going to look clean and nice. So that was the die cut sentiment. On the inside of my card base, which is an A2 top folding note card, so 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. On the inside, I stamped a sentiment from the Simple Joy Sentiments with the Obsidian ink. And then I adhered that little kitty cat with his book onto the inside, so that finished the inside off. And then on my card front, I'm going to adhere my background that I had pierced with that Happy Leaves texture die. It's another reason why I like those sorts of like texture, like, geographic, etc. type patterns is those will work with anything. It's not a specific theme. It's not a specific anything. Like, you want to add some texture? There you go. It doesn't matter. It could be a birthday card, a holiday card, whatever. It's just a geographic pattern. Love so much. So, adhered my frame, added some more white gel pen highlights because that gel pen was just giving me life with. I was having fun. So, and then I started adhering all these little bits to make this scene, and it makes me so happy. They're so cute. They're so cute. So got those adhered, put the glue on the back of the cardstock on this die cut sentiment, lerv, got that adhered into place. And then to finish off the sentiment, I took one of the little Subsentiments cozy die cuts. Waffle Flower does these with most of their releases, and they're just pre-printed and already die cut. You just pop them out. So I popped it out, and then I just took a black marker and went around the edges to cover that exposed white edge, so everything just looks a little more seamless. And then I'm gonna pop that into place with just a little dab of foam tape. And then my final embellishment is some enamel dots. I have these clean and clear Waffle Flower enamel dots that I have kept in my stash for years. But they're self-adhesive, and I was like, ooh, that'll be just a simple little embellishment. So I just put some of the white ones onto my background here, and then once I get these pressed into place, this card is complete. So super cute. I don't know, I love this set. Oh, if I'd been thinking adding a little bit of like glossy accents or the Sakura glossy pen to her glasses, that would have been perfect. Ugh, I might still have to do that, but just to give it that little extra shine, how cute would that be? Seriously. Anyway, like I mentioned, I'll have links to all of the things in the description box below the video. Definitely worth checking out. Wait till you see the rest of this release, y'all. There's things that I'm ridiculously excited about and I will be getting to very soon. So everything will be down below. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me, for thumbs upping and commenting. It helps a ton and I really appreciate it. And I will see you all very soon in the next video. Bye. Thank you so much to my amazing Patreon supporters. For anyone that might be interested in joining my Patreon community and supporting me, the link to my Patreon is in the description box below the video. For everyone else, as always, thank you all so much for taking the time to watch my videos, for thumbs upping, commenting, subscribe if you haven't, I'd love to have you. And here's a couple other videos for you to check out in case you missed them. Bye!